Wondering what makes university teaching truly effective? In this video, we'll explore 6 big ideas. 5 are legit and 1 is a myth. Can you figure out which one? Constructivism and active learning. Ever saw a name of a great documentary and I must have seen it, but I just can't remember much? Here's why. According to constructivism, knowledge is not water and students are not cups. You can't just pour it in and expect it to stay. Instead, learning is more like building muscle. You have to do it yourself. You can't just get fit by watching other people or listening to them. So constructivism tells us that students can't learn deeply by listening, watching, or observing. They have to get engaged and build that knowledge for themselves, or in other ways, do active learning. So what do you think? Constructivism and active learning, true or false? True. There's a lot of research to back it up. Now, number 2, social learning theory. So it's simple. We learn better with and alongside others. We need other people to normalize our struggles, to share ideas, to give feedback, to get feedback. So we as educators, we have to provide students with these opportunities. So that's the core of social learning theory. So what's your take? True or false? True. Decades of research confirm it, but there is a catch. And the catch is group dynamics are tricky. We can't just expect students to raise their hand and interact, and the bigger the class, the harder it is. So yes, we need to provide students with opportunities to interact, but we have to engineer those feasible opportunities. So things like think, pair, share. I think for myself, share with the person next to me, we share with the larger group. Or maybe we type in a shared document, or other easier ways to participate that are non-threatening, because students will worry about the group dynamics, about being judged. So it's on us to create those feasible opportunities. Next, number 3, self-determination theory. This is all about motivation, the real one. Intrinsic comes from inside rather than extrinsic from the outside. And it tells us that there are 3 key components to it. Number 1, we all need to feel competent. The tasks need to be achievable. When they're too hard or overwhelming, students will just give up, the motivation will go down. The second component is the need to belong, relatedness. The students need to relate to other students, to the instructor. Otherwise, again, the motivation, the real one, will go down. And finally, the third one, autonomy, of being in control, of feeling like we have choices. That's why it's so important to provide students with choices, to give them the sense of autonomy. Let's take the Wizard of Oz as an example. Competence. Dorothy's challenges are hard but doable, and as she overcomes them, her sense of competence is going up and her intrinsic motivation is going up as well. Relatedness, sense of belonging. Dorothy's journey just wouldn't be the same without the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion. Their friendship is what keeps her motivated, intrinsically motivated, especially when it gets hard. Autonomy. She chooses her path, she follows the yellow brick road, and that helps her intrinsic motivation because she has a sense of control, some choice. So what do your spidey senses tell you? Legit or not? Legit. It's good to know what helps with the intrinsic motivation so you can help your students have it, because that's the best type of motivation. Idea number 4, cognitive load theory. Our working memory has a limited capacity and can get overwhelmed. So things like busy PowerPoint slides or overly formal language, they all hurt learning because they take up the space of what could otherwise be spent on processing information. So we as educators have to work hard on having very light slides and having clear language, because all of that frees up the space, reduces the cognitive load, and students can learn better. What's your guess? True or false? You got it. True. Of course, true. So the fifth big idea, learning styles. This is a belief that students have preferred learning styles like visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic, and to reach the students, we as educators have to use different modalities like diagrams for visual learners, audio summaries for auditory learners, hands-on activities. So learning styles, true or false? False this time. Learning styles have been debunked by the literature, but there's a but. It may still be helpful to provide different modalities from universal design for learning perspective. That is to support different students because of their lifestyles, for example. I might be a busy learner, and listening to an audio summary could be the most feasible way for me to engage on a regular basis, just as an example. So, learning styles out, but different modalities can stay just for a different reason. The final big idea is metacognition. It means thinking about thinking, reflecting on the process. Think of it as a learning GPS. It helps students identify where they're at and maybe change directions, take different strategies. And we know from research that students who practice metacognition become more effective learners, lifelong learners, and you can help with that. Encourage self-questioning. Teach students how to ask themselves, do I really understand that? Is there another way to solve this problem? Include reflection in your activities. For example, after the assessment, get them to jot down what worked, what didn't, what can they do differently next time. And most importantly, create a safe space where it's okay to make mistakes, because that's really a good foundation for learning. So here we have it. 5 legit and 1 debunked idea about university teaching. These big ideas are tools for teaching, and tools only work when you use them. So what will your first step be? Will you set up a shared document for students to type in during your tutorial or lecture? Or maybe simplify your slides or encourage reflections? You decide, but take one step and see where it leads. See you next time. Thanks for watching.